welcome to the first episode of In Other Words.
So this is a podcast where we're just going to be talking about all kinds of topics from Hamilton to financial stability. So in other words, we're going to be talking about all the things.
So the intro that you just heard was recorded by YBO, Your Brain On. They are a jazz indie pop duo from UCT, and you should definitely check them out. They're on Instagram at YBO.
Indeed. So we decided to start a podcast after I was sitting in my room one day and I had just gotten into listening to podcasts, but at that certain time I was trying to procrastinate doing a 24-hour assessment, which, love that for me. And I just figured that Zara and I have such great conversations. We have a lot to say, a lot to discuss, and we really just want to create an environment where you guys can listen to us discuss things, and you can drop in our conversations, listen to different opinions. It'll be nice.
Yes. So I think we don't want it to be a lecture. We really want it to be a conversation. And I mean, we're hoping to learn things along the way as well and have guests on. So yeah, you guys must really just stay in contact and interact with us. Let us know what you want to hear, what you really don't want to hear. But it's very chilled, and we're just going to chat, and you guys can listen, and if no one listens, well, we still get to chat.
Indeed. So Zara, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, my name is Zara Scott. I am in my last year of my theological studies, and I cannot wait to graduate. Guys, I am so tired of sitting in front of my books. In terms of ministry, I know the Lord's called me to full-time ministry. I have no idea where, so I'm going to be working for my church next year, learning the ropes and trying to figure out exactly where I need to be. Other things, I love music. I love music a lot.
Amen.
And currently listening to a lot of Hamilton, which is basically all I talk about as well. My favorite color is yellow. I feel like that's really important to know about me.
Yes.
That's all.
Yeah. What are you reading at the moment? Anything exciting to tell the people?
Yes, I'm reading a book called The Sun Does Shine. Don't ask me who wrote it because I cannot remember. It's about this guy. He was on death row for 34 years and he was innocent. And it's kind of just his story, living in the deep south in the US. So you can imagine the tone. So yeah, it's really sad, but I'm also really enjoying it.
Yeah. So yeah,
Now to you. Yeah. More interesting than me.
Hardly. I'm Danielle. I am 20, turning 21 in a month and a bit, which is exciting. I am in my third year of BA Humanities, and my majors are history and political science. So in other words, I'm very wise. I know a lot of things.
So wise.
I'm just joking. I plan on doing my honors and maybe even a master's as well.
I don't know why anyone would do that.
I don't know why. I don't know why, but I think it'll be enjoyable for a little bit. What else? I also enjoy music. I love Hamilton. I enjoy most artists though.
Yeah, I feel like
to
you
be
listen
honest.
to a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, we both do though.
Yeah.
I'm reading the 4th Game of Thrones book at the moment, which has taken me for years.
I feel like it's Game of Thrones forever.
Yeah, it's been a year, but I'm almost done.
Well, some people don't read it all.
Exactly.
So it's fine.
It's fine. Yeah.
So how did we become friends? I don't even know.
Well, we met each other in grade 9. You had just come to Fairmont, and we were in the same class. We weren't best friends, but we knew each other. We were friends. You came to my birthday party.
I remember
Yes.
that. That was the first time I was in the house that we're currently sitting in.
Yeah. And then in grade 10, we were in the same class again, and we just became very good friends. We have a lot of things in common.
Yes. I think Birdie was it. I was like, I like this girl. She listens to Birdie.
Yeah.
And yeah, now we've been friends for a few years.
Numerous years.
I'm not going to count because I hate maths.
Same.
All right. So what we've done is we asked on social media platforms for you guys to send in questions, things you want to know about us. This feels very obnoxious, like a whole episode dedicated
But it's fine.
It's all right.
You don't have to listen if you don't want to, but
No,
you
but
should.
you should. So I'm just going to go through the questions. We're going to try and answer them. We haven't prepped these answers, so that's going to be fun. But the first question is, if you weren't pursuing your current career or degree, what would you be doing?
I honestly think that I'd be going into skincare. I love skincare.
I never knew that about you.
Yeah.
Well, I know you love skincare,
Yeah,
but I didn't know
I think-
that's what you would want to do.
I think I don't know if I'd be a dermatologist, but just someone who helps people out with their skin,
Wow.
developing products. I don't know. I just feel like I would enjoy that. And you?
I mean, the plan is never ministry. The Lord called me to ministry, and it was such a shock for me because I was like, Lord, no thanks. Now I can't imagine doing anything else. But there was a stage where I really wanted to go into like TV presenting. I mean, this is the closest thing to TV presenting right now. I also really was interested in law. So like
Yeah, you wanted
domestic
to,
law.
yeah.
So I was like pretty sold out on being a lawyer for a long time. And then like paths quickly changed. But I'd probably be doing that now if I wasn't.
But I mean, you could even go and
Ministry.
study that in later years if you really had the desire.
Studying. More studying.
Yeah.
I'm making it
You
sound
don't
like I'm a
even know.
terrible student. I like learning. I just don't like writing assignments.
Who does though?
Exactly. And the next question. Style icon. I feel like mine is Prince Di.
Yeah, I was going to actually say the same thing.
We are the same.
Yeah. I also, obviously Rachel Green from Friends.
It's so
Also,
mainstream, but
I know, but
I love
they're
way
iconic.
they
And
dress.
Monica as well. Even the guys, like, I feel like I dress like, I sometimes
Not
feel
Ross.
like, no.
Talking about dinosaurs.
I feel like I dress like Chandler.
Chandler.
I feel like I dress like him in the early seasons. Otherwise, I feel like I get a lot of inspiration from some of the YouTubers I watch. So, just naming names, I think her name is Moya Mawini. She has a wonderful sense of style.
I feel like I don't consider myself stylish, actually. I wear what I like. I always said if I had more energy and more money, I'd probably look nicer. But oh well.
It's fine. No, you just dress like a soccer mom.
Like a soccer mom, guys. Tights, Nikes, ready.
Love that.
Okay. Role model.
Truthfully, I wouldn't say I have a role model. I obviously look up to my
Me?
mom. Obviously, I look up to Zara. I feel like Michelle Obama.
I was going to say
Yeah.
Michelle Obama.
She's wonderful. If you haven't read her book, Becoming, you definitely should. She's a wonderful writer.
Yes.
Yeah. And you?
I mean, Jesus.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, but I don't know if like that was the answer or the intention behind the question. But obviously, Jesus is the ultimate role model. Otherwise, I would also say Michelle Obama. I think she's pretty badass. And I love the fact that she met Barack. She was his mentor. Like she
Yeah.
got a degree before him. She was like kicking butt way before him. So, yeah, I really like her.
Yeah. I think a person that I've been really inspired by, well, we both have been really inspired by, is Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Oh, guys, you'll
Just-
hear that name a lot.
Yeah, he's very creative. He's a go-getter. That's what I think. He just does what he does, and he's so talented. He wrote Hamilton, if you don't know. He wrote all of it. It's amazing.
It is brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah. And he also just says things like as they are. Like
exactly.
he doesn't hold back, which I really like. What is your biggest accomplishment?
I wouldn't say I necessarily have an accomplishment that stands out to me a lot. I'm proud of myself for getting my grade 8 piano.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Guys, her dad said that if she ever makes it to grade 8 piano, which is the highest grade, then he'll get her a grand piano, but I don't think he ever thought
Yeah.
she'd get there.
I have a ukulele, so that's
It's the closest.
yes. What was the question?
Your biggest accomplishment.
I'm always proud of myself for my academics, for getting into Golden Key, which I wasn't expecting.
She's so clever.
Yeah, I feel like I just test well, maybe.
You do.
And other than that, I think that's all really. And also just for surviving so long.
Right? In this world
Yeah,
of chaos.
exactly. And you?
I don't know. I also don't like. I feel proud of myself for like things I've done.
Yeah.
Like getting up and getting dressed this morning.
Yes.
But I don't know. I feel like a lot of where I am is because of the stuff the Lord has done in my heart. Like I probably wouldn't be alive today if
Yeah.
it wasn't for what Jesus has done. But like I can't really take credit for that.
Exactly.
So I don't know. I think my biggest accomplishment, I don't think you'd call that, would just be like my personal growth. Because you can
Yeah.
ask Danielle, like high school versus now early 20s. Like I'm a very different person.
Very. Quite.
For the better.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I feel like I've seen you go through a lot of different eras in your life.
You
though.
really have. I feel like
So many. I feel like every year is just a new
A new
It's a
and
new
improved
Zara.
Zara. No, but guys, like, so Devin is Danielle's boyfriend, and she's been stuck with the two of us for a good few years now. And I feel like both of us have changed so much, and she's just stayed chilled. Like,
Yeah.
she's just like got life figured out. She's very
Wow.
content.
Yeah,
But yeah, so we've accomplished nothing.
Exactly.
But that's okay.
we're still young.
Exactly.
There's still just you wait. That's all.
I agree. There was something David Diggs said in a speech when they were talking about accomplishments. Oh, he
Yes.
said, just chill.
Just chill.
He's like, it doesn't, just chill. Like, you'll
Yeah.
figure it out.
And that's all our advice for this episode.
Exactly, just chill. Okay. Would you want to live in South Africa for the rest of your life?
I think I wouldn't mind. I can see myself being in South Africa, but I would definitely want to live in other places as well. I'm not too fussed where I end up. I would like to be close to my family though, especially if I end up having children one day. Then I think it would be nice.
One day.
One day. I think it would be nice for them to grow up with grandparents, cousins, all of those things. But I can definitely see myself living in some European country.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
I feel like we both want to travel a lot.
Yes.
That's like for sure. I'm determined for us to travel together one day.
We are going to.
I don't know how, but we're going to make it happen.
We are going to.
I agree. But I love South Africa. Like,
Yeah.
it's home, and people complain about things. I mean, there's so much corruption, and we are a third world country, but like, it's home.
Exactly.
And I feel like there's a lot of good that people
Don't
tend to
see.
ignore. So I love South Africa, but at the same time, like, I don't know if I'll be here all my life. Like, I love my family, but I'm also, especially being in full-time ministry, I always say, like, if God called me to some big cosmopolitan city, like, I would go. And if he called me to the middle of nowhere with no signal, I would go.
Yeah.
So I really don't know. I mean, living in like the south of France sounds legit, but
Wonderful.
I don't know. I'm also an Australian citizen, but like, I haven't lived there since I was a child, so I barely remember it. But I just feel like that's the first world South Africa, so I feel like I've heard it's the same.
Yeah. Every country has its issues.
Exactly. The grass is really not,
Greener.
no,
Not at all.
until we get to heaven. I
Yeah.
feel like the grass is very green.
Exactly. But yeah.
Okay, your all-time favorite song? I feel like this is difficult for you to answer.
Yeah, I don't have one. I love Bohemian Rhapsody.
I was going to say.
It's always been one of my favorite songs.
Guys, I feel like you need to, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, it's okay.
I feel like you need to send DMs and comments asking Danielle to do a rendition of Bohemian Rhapsody in a future episode. I think that's a great idea. That is the reason we are friends.
Probably.
Continue.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I listen to a lot of artists. I love Billie Eilish. I love the Beatles. I know Zara doesn't,
She's
but
wearing
anyway.
a Beatles t-shirt right now.
I love so many different songs, and I feel like each song can speak to you at a different time in your life as well. So
Yeah.
I don't know, come and ask me next month.
I also listen to a lot of different stuff, but there's one song, and it's funny because it could be a worship song, like in the right context, but it's not a worship song, it's a secular song, and it's called Never Let Me Go by Florence and the Machine. And I just adore that song. I heard it on One Trio for the first time, and I'm obsessed with One Trio.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely my favorite song.
Yeah.
If you watch the music video, it's very weird, but it's worth a listen. What is your favorite Barbie movie?
Guys, I can only think of Barbie Rapunzel.
Mine's Barbie
Is
Rapunzel.
it?
That's
Okay.
my favorite.
Well, that's my answer then.
I stopped watching because I got old. But the music from Swan Lake is beautiful. But again,
Yes.
that can't be credited to
Barbie.
Barbie. That's
Tchaikovsky.
Tchaikovsky. So yeah, Rapunzel. Rapunzel's the way to go. That was the second one. I had it on video.
Wow. We have it on DVD.
So I feel like because I had it on video, I'm not that young, but I'm
Yeah.
still young.
Yes. Very young. I have a question for you. What is your greatest fear?
Wow. I don't know. Cockroaches. No, I'm just kidding.
Biggest ever.
Biggest fear. I think probably not living like in my purpose or in my calling.
Yeah.
Like, because I feel like God sets out our life but we still have free will. We can
Yeah.
choose whether we're going to walk in our destiny, walk in our purpose, or
Not.
So I feel like that would be my fear, is just making the wrong choice that leads me in the wrong direction. I mean, I'm pretty sure everything would end up okay.
Yeah.
But I think not doing everything that I can that the Lord wants me to do here.
Yeah, I feel like my answer is a little bit similar, but it's basically just not being content or happy with wherever I end up in life. But I don't know. I think eventually you kind of just have to be content with where you are. You can always change the situation you're in some way. It might be difficult, but I just think not enjoying what I end up doing one day.
And
Fires. I would hate for my house to burn down.
The funny thing is, her younger brother set the basin on fire once. So it's a legitimate fear.
He has set multiple fires in our house.
Okay, so this one was an interesting question. It's also long. I'm going to read it to you. Okay, so they said, what do you think about the US 2020 elections? Are you voting red or blue, and why? And would you vote for the candidate based on who they are as a person, or the ideals and plans for the country they have?
Okay. So first of all, we don't live in America, so we will not be voting. Yeah, exactly. We won't be voting blue or red. I do not like Trump, but I also don't like the Conservative Party. I feel like their policies just don't really resonate with me at all. I think it's definitely important that you look at the policies of a candidate, and this applies to all politics. In South Africa, you want to look at what the party actually stands for. Mm-hmm. Don't just listen to talk, because that's just not how it works.
And half the things politicians say is just shocking.
Yeah, a lot of them lie. But yeah, I don't enjoy Trump as a person either. There's a lot to say, and if you want to talk to me about it, you're more than welcome.
We probably will do this in a future podcast. We talk about it a lot, actually, because I feel like the US political situation right now is
Hollywood. A big mess. It's a big mess.
Like entertainment, because it's so ridiculous, which is a pity.
Yeah.
But again, for me, I think I can't vote there, and I'm kind of glad I don't have to.
Yeah.
From a standpoint of voting for a candidate versus voting for policies, I've always said, especially being a strong Christian, I always want a Christian in power. However, my heart is for the people, and I feel like God's heart is for his people. So you want to vote for the person that's going to do the most good for the most people. And I feel like that's always been my opinion, and people differ. I think right now I'm not a Donald Trump fan, okay? And the fact that he claims to be a Christian, but he also does some very dodgy things, stresses me out. Mm-hmm. Another issue, and we won't go into it too much because we don't have the time right now, is a lot of conservative Christians vote Republican because of abortion.
Yeah.
About how
they're supposedly anti-abortion.
Yeah. And for me, again, that's a topic we'll get into, and I definitely have my opinions. Mm-hmm. But for me, that is not, you can't base your vote on abortion.
You have to look at other policies as well. Are they providing free birth control?
Healthcare.
And they're not. So
systematic racism.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So
I
feel like we're leaning towards Democratic very much, but again, we don't necessarily worship the Democrats either.
Absolutely not.
And I don't know much about Joe Biden. He kind of came onto the scene later on.
Well,
he's been there for a while, but I think we all assumed Bernie Sanders would be the candidate.
I wish he was, to be honest. That would have been fun.
But I mean, maybe if the Republican Party had a different candidate, I'd feel differently, but I'm just not a Trump fan.
Not at all. Anyway,
enough about Donald Trump.
Yeah. I think we're going to go into some of our unpopular opinions.
Yes.
Or things that we just disagree with in this world that some people do agree with.
Yeah, I feel like this is a cool way to introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, first, my unpopular opinion, and I just say it's unpopular because it's just not what's happening. I don't think maths or maths lit should be compulsory.
Amen.
Because a lot of people just can't do maths. Like, I think there's an assumption that, oh, if you just work hard enough, then you'll get good at maths. And maybe for some people that is true, but that is just not the case. It stresses so many children out.
Oh my gosh, guys. I
Some
hated
people just
maths.
don't have a maths brain. And we were discussing earlier, what would be cool is that you actually have a subject like citizen studies, where you learn how to be a good citizen. You learn how to do taxes. You learn how to do all those things that you might want.
Actually
Yeah,
use,
that you might do
yeah.
in maths lit now. But now you actually have a subject where you don't have to do maths at all.
Yeah. And people who love maths, by
Do
all
it,
means,
yeah.
trig. So much fun. Enjoy. Yeah, I completely agree with that. And yeah, maths and I were not friends in high school either.
No. And I think another thing that we both agree with, and this is a lot with within the singing industry, is that
We do love singing.
we do. Loud and high singing doesn't mean that you're a good singer.
Oh,
Like, just because you have a big range doesn't mean that you actually have an impressive voice. And I think, especially in singing competitions, like The Voice, for example, they won't vote you in if you don't sing a high note, which is just completely ridiculous, because I think you lose a lot of
really talented
exactly
people.
and really unique voices.
Yeah.
And this isn't coming from a place of spite. I've never auditioned for anything like that. This is just my opinion.
No, I agree. And also, like, we can't all be Whitney Houston and Christina, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I just feel like, as you said, singing high does not mean that you are the best singer.
Yeah.
Okay, then, guys, please don't hate me. Like avocado. Like, what is the big deal? Why are people obsessed? Danielle loves avo.
I'm not obsessed.
No, you're not obsessed. But I like guacamole, but like, avos are also weirdly expensive, and I don't understand why people love it. It's very average tasting. And Nutella.
Yeah, you don't understand. Yeah. I
Nutella, I'm not a fan.
I solidly enjoy avocado. I'm not like the type of people to buy things with avocados everywhere, although I think they can be kind of cute. But I do enjoy avocado on toast with eggs on top. That's really yummy.
Nah.
Love it. But everyone has their own likes. Nutella, I solidly enjoy the taste, but I just don't really want to buy the product because of palm oil. If you don't know what palm oil is doing, go research it. You're welcome.
We'll chat about that in the future.
Yeah.
We can.
Exactly. So another unpopular opinion of mine is that soulmates don't exist. I don't think there's one person for everyone. Like, I think that's just a bit of a sad reality if that is the case, because first of all, what if you never find them? Second of all, what if they die?
And what if they're famous?
Exactly.
And they're gay?
And
And,
what
they
if
don't
they-
want to be with me?
What if they're a sucky person? I think that you have people who you're compatible with.
Yeah.
And maybe you have multiple soulmates in that case, but I just don't think that they're a soulmate. I think they're just people that you get on with and that you make work. Relationships are a lot of work. We'll get into that in another episode, but you can't just get into a relationship with someone and just expect it to be easy because you think that you're their soulmate. It just doesn't work like that.
I agree. Although a part of me thinks Danielle and I are soulmates, or Horcruxes.
Yeah, whole crux.
Because we think the same thing sometimes.
Yeah.
But I agree. And actually, talking about relationships and like hard work. So I'm single and I've never been married. So what I'm saying now is just an opinion as an outsider. But I almost think that marriage has become like futile to so many people.
Yeah.
Like, it's so easy to get married and it's so easy to get divorced. And my thing is, if you are living in a way in your relationship where you basically live like a married couple, you don't necessarily see marriage as this covenant,
Yeah.
then what's the point? Like, have this big wedding and then like you see people that get divorced like 2 months after. And like, divorces, I'm not for divorce, but in certain circumstances I understand.
Oh, for sure.
But
yeah.
I just feel like it's so easy to just walk away from like commitment.
Yeah.
So that's maybe an unpopular opinion if
Yeah.
you're
No.
about living all the lives and having all the wives, but
Yeah.
not me.
Just don't get married then. Do what you want. Of course, do whatever you want. Another thing. Oh, okay. So what a lot of people do is that they will tell a racist or sexist joke and they'll say, I just have dark humor. I'm like, that's not dark humor. I mean, maybe it is, and I'm just being stupid.
It's not humor, it's dark.
Yeah.
It's
like,
not
don't
humor.
disguise your prejudices as a joke.
Yeah.
Like, just say what you feel. but like be prepared for consequences, and don't just say, "Ugh, but it was just a joke," because why do you want to
No,
offend
exactly.
people, make people upset? I don't understand.
Yeah.
And in the same line, don't try to play the devil's advocate just by being racist. Like, that's not what it is, just in my opinion.
No, I completely get you. And humor's supposed to be funny, and racism and sexism, etc., are not funny.
Not funny at all. We don't like it.
No. Onto something a bit more lighthearted.
Okay.
This is for, I think we'll have a lot of girls in high school, specifically my girls in high school right now, who will listen to this. And for me, I feel like there's a lot of pressure to study straight after high school.
Yeah.
And I get why people say that, and I think a lot of parents, especially parents who didn't study, like they push for their kids to like get a degree right out of school. But I feel like when you're 17, you don't know what you want to do for the rest of your life. And so I feel like gap years are a good thing.
For sure.
And I feel like there's this stereotype that like people who take a gap year are lazy or whatever.
Yeah.
And it can be the case.
Yeah.
But I feel like as long as you're doing something important, like you're working or you're learning about yourself, then a gap year can be a good thing.
100%.
So,
I completely agree.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think you have another
I do. I have more rants. I say
Yes.
rants. Some people say rant.
rant. My dad will make fun of you if you say rant.
I also say sponge
I
instead
know,
of sponge.
that is ridiculous.
You're ridiculous. Guys, people who have Instagram accounts for their children or their pets. Okay, so Danielle likes animal
Yeah.
Instagram accounts,
We
and they
love
are
it.
cute. But if you speak as if you were the animal or the child,
Yeah.
I just don't get it. It's just, it's a bit cringe for me.
Yeah. And in the same line, YouTube family accounts are just the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And I feel like so many parents use YouTube and just exploit their children for views and for money. And I just like, guys, YouTube and people, especially older people who watch YouTube and watch children,
Yeah.
why would you want to do
Can
that
get
to your
quite-
own child? I don't understand.
Yeah, I get you. And then, what am I about to say? Guys, as we do this podcast, we do understand that criticism is going to come our way, and we can
Yes.
take it.
Yes.
Drake is he's so overrated, and I'm, as like a musician, if you will, like myself, I understand that people have different tastes,
Yeah.
and that's okay, and I'm not saying he's not a musician or he's terrible, but like for me, the fact that he has Grammys and like a bunch of nominations and Queen has never won a Grammy, for me that just feels wrong, and a lot of his stuff kind of sounds the same.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, and I'm hearing like a bunch of guys from high school in my ear right now insulting me, and that is what it
That's
is.
okay.
But Drake is overrated.
Yeah.
And the Beatles maybe a little bit.
No, but I'll tell you about the Beatles here.
Okay, she's wearing a Beatles
I
t-shirt,
am.
as I said. So I
The Beatles were very innovative for their
That's-
time. Yeah.
their influence.
It's incredible. You can't deny it.
Yeah,
And they left, I mean, I actually wrote an essay about them last year, which I got a very good mark for, by the way.
of course you did. It's your field of expertise.
Exactly. They left a huge impact on British culture, American culture, all over. And the music that we listen to today, especially pop music, would not be what it is without the Beatles. Like their use of harmony, the structure of their songs.
Yeah.
Was just very innovative for its time. And obviously everyone has different tastes, and that's fine. Just because we dislike something doesn't mean that it's bad, or just because we like
Yeah.
something doesn't mean that it is good or whatever.
Yeah, and I can 100% like get where you're coming from. I
Yeah.
think there's just certain songs. I think that's what
Yeah.
put me off. Is certain songs like make no sense.
Yeah.
And just sound like a trip, which it probably was.
They were.
Which is like the thing that puts me off.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like don't walk around with a Beatles t-shirt unless you genuinely like the Beatles. Don't do it just because you want to be cool.
Yeah, you'll never be cool. I'm joking.
And then I think this is the last thing.
Mm-hmm.
Books, guys. Books. Kindle. Yeah. I don't know. I have such a love for books, and like books look pretty.
Yeah.
And I worked in a bookstore, so I am biased. And books are so expensive, and I understand this,
They
but
are expensive.
for me, there's nothing like holding a book with physical pages
Yeah.
in your hand.
Yeah.
So I do not have a Kindle.
Yeah. I got a Kindle when I was in grade 7. and I use that thing a lot. It's very convenient because if you're going traveling or whatever, you can just go and you can store thousands of books on it. I don't even know how many. So they're very convenient, and they do, if you get a proper Kindle, it does look like a normal book page because it doesn't have that glare, which I think puts a lot of people off. So it's very convenient. I also obviously prefer paperback books, but I think both can be good. If you're a person who likes to read but you're always traveling, get a Kindle.
That must be nice.
Yeah.
I want to be a person who likes to read and always travels.
Same. I love that.
I think that was all our unpopular opinions, though.
Yeah, I think so
For
too.
now, more will come up and you'll probably hear them.
Yeah.
So I think that's the
it.
end. This felt a little bit obnoxious talking about ourselves all the time.
Yeah.
Even though we're so interesting.
We are.
So interesting. So I feel like from now on, don't worry, we're not going to be talking about a bunch of random things all of the time. We have a bunch more focus stuff coming up.
Yes.
Do you want to chat about what's coming up?
I know we want to have an episode about relationships. We want to have an episode where we talk about Hamilton.
Oh, guys.
So get prepared. We want to get my dad on the podcast, and he's a financial advisor, so he can talk to us about what we should be doing as teenagers or young adults, where we should be putting our money. What else was there?
There's a lot of like stuff on racism and some political issues and cancel culture. So we're pumped.
Yeah, we're very
hope
excited.
You guys, stay tuned and share this with all your friends.
Please.
And I think that's it.
Yeah, we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.